players to get ready, and all the rest. Are we good there? Are we looking good on the FPS? We're looking okay, I think. I'm just going to pause my stream as well, just in case. There's been some weird things going on today. So let's try this out. Best of 3, of course, and this is from group. I actually don't know what group exactly this is from. But we're in game, so that's all that's important. And here's the first match of Group Stage 2, as we have to the bottom right-hand side a player who I really feel has been a bit hard done by in his group. It is a difficult group, one group away from where the money begins. And for him to go back home with $1,000 at least would be a huge, huge, huge thing. Considering he's a young European player, he's really still just trying to make it and trying to, you know, justify committing time into StarCraft 2 on a professional basis. Bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss is FeaR. And he's going up against the green Zerg to the lower left from Team Liquid. It is TLO. Best of 3, of course, as it will be throughout all of these group stages that we cast today. And this is going to be the only game of DreamHack which we cast, although we will be casting both, again, Group Stage 2 now and Group Stage 3. So you still have a good few hours of our DreamHack content left to come your way. So do make sure you sit tight and snuggle up. And it's going to be a late one for us Europeans, of course. I mean, it's already rushing on towards midnight for a lot of you guys over in the Central European time zone. I've got an hour and a half until we hit midnight. Group Stage 3 currently scheduled to start at 2 AM CEST. So if you're European and thinking of staying up with me, well, that's fantastic. But do let me know if you are. Let me know where you're watching from. Obviously, probably got a few NA viewers tuned in as well. So let me know where you guys are watching from, what's going on, and all the rest as we kick this off into TLO FeaR. And look to see how things are going to be going. Early opening here from FeaR, by the way, is the fast Nexus into a 2-gate follow-up. And I like it. I mean, we saw him go against Blythe just the 2 gates and then a Nexus. I love this variant, though, where you go Nexus first into 2 gates. And the reason is you get 2 Adepts out early and you can start to pressure. And we saw against Blythe, he had to make a lot of Lings to defend. And this isn't going to be too much later on the Adepts, but he is also going to have much more kind of pro production. So right from the get-go here, FeaR is just going to have so many workers in advantage of his opponent. And that's going to be pretty, pretty fantastic as we see this probe just jumping around, jiving around, seeing where he can get to. Now being chased away by a few of those Zerglings. A few Zerglings chasing that probe away up to the top side. TLO about to put his third hatch down. And the probe denies it for a little while here, but not for too long. But look at the economy of FeaR. 27 probes to 22 drones. Really is fantastic. I mean, it's the combination of TLO making 6 Zerglings, going for the slightly faster third hatchery rather than just pumping out workers. Everything kind of combined and just giving FeaR that little bit of an eco lead in the very, very early stages. There's the first 2 Adepts then, and again, that's just not going to make life any easier for TLO, who now does have to deal with 2 Adepts as well. But look at this little counter-attack. 5 Lings going to sneak on into the natural expansion. Very well placed units here, and that's going to... Ooh, there's a gap in this wall as well right there, and that is not nice. As these probes will pull forwards, and they will be enough, I think, to protect this. He tries to pull 1 probe back. A little bit of missed micro. Should have been using the mineral walk there, which he didn't. Small mistake, as he still has 2 Adepts pushing towards the front. And they should start to shade backwards or up to the natural, to the main base. As he runs into the natural here to pick up some worker kills. He will get 3 workers on the natural and then shade into the main. Well, he should get at least 1 more. Missed targets though initially. There we go. That will be the 1 more he gets. But that shall be all. 4 workers killed, but still an 8 worker lead overall. TLO, he knows there's gaps in this wall, and I think FeaR does as well. He's going to pop this Stargate down and just going to make sure now his Adepts plug the final hole. So, yeah, I mean, in the end, it works out for him, but obviously could have been a little bit deadly if he hadn't seen that just previously, because that would have been a little bit of a nightmare to try and defend against. Sling Speed kicks in, TLO will come across, but he doesn't really have anything he can do to get past this wall. His Evo Chamber isn't done yet for Dropper Lords, so he's just stuck here, and FeaR, a good defense, a good hold on the wall for now. He's just going to be seeing the probes continue to be produced here. Again, nothing too crazy about that as we just see the Stargate opening for FeaR into a Twilight and again another gateway actually. So, I mean, just a Stargate, get an Oracle up I imagine, then go into the 3-gate Resonating Glaive play. He's going to be seeing actually just going to make a Phoenix, clean out this Overlord. He might follow up with an Oracle afterwards. And it's at this sort of point, I guess, though, where actually if you make an Oracle and it's scouted so quickly, you've got to question how much damage it's going to do. And yeah, of course, I mean, you don't always have to do damage with an Oracle, but some players don't like to make that Oracle after so much has been seen already. Going to throw the 3rd Nexus down again. The Phoenix will help to get rid of this Overlord nice and quickly, and can hunt around for other Overlords, but for the most part, I mean, for the most part, there is no other overlords on the map for TLO. Like, I'm just going to straight up say, where are they? Well, you know, they're back over, I don't even know. TLO, there we are. I was going to say, has he somehow broken the game? He's been so creative, the game is broken and let him just make units without overlords? No, the overlords are sat in the natural. As you will see some adepts, he's going to shade on forwards in towards, a little bit further in towards this mineral line here. Going to try and pick up some further damage. First queen up front goes down, and these adepts are going to get surrounded, man. So many zerglings running on in, and just going to be getting a nice surround. Adepts will indeed fall. I mean, just so many lings right there. Now, there's a mothership core. Oh, no mothership core. Well, that makes this third base a little bit more difficult to hold, but of course you will have a nice little kind of area to set these adepts in to minimize the kind of potential range or surface area that these zerglings have to surround. Some Banes morphing in as well. TLO will be looking to force those Banelings to split, force those adepts to split up with the Banes, allowing an easier time for the zerglings to come on through and to get damage done. Here we go, Banes from the northern side, and well, where does the force field come down? It doesn't, so the Banes just connect. Now an overcharge though, a force field 2 to limit surface area further. One more Bane will be looking to try and get towards the pylon. Doesn't quite find it, but the pylon goes down anyways. FeaR still trying to defend against this at this point. Mothership core firing away in the sky, is trying to do whatever he can. And another adept will warp in. It looks as though FeaR is just about going to hold on. It's one of the benefits of if he'd made an Oracle instead of this Phoenix, of course, being able to just use that pulsar beam bit to help clean up in this sort of situation. And he's still just sitting a little bit out the front here, and you're going to see a couple of adepts pulling back, and a few more adepts starting to warp in. Mothership core still overhead. And we'll be still trying to see what might happen here as we see probes being pulled around left, right, all over the shop, really. I'm just trying to, again, do a little bit more damage in these early stages. But for the most part, FeaR's holding on, and again, he holds with a good economy behind it. I mean, obviously, TLO's setting up quite nicely. He's going into +1 missiles as his Hydralisk switch comes in, starts up the Bane speed as well, ready for that Ling Hydra Bane composition to come into play now. I mean, obviously, from FeaR, though, what we're seeing already is, well, I mean, he's got Templar Archives on the way down. He's setting that up. He's getting that ready to roll. An Immortal on the way. He's actually starting a second Templar Archives. Bit of a mistake. Hopefully, he realizes it before he ends up kind of committing to it and wasting that gas. There's a Ling run by Zealot. Is not properly in the wall, and so Lings get in towards the natural. And that is going to be a bit of damage. He's actually going to start talking to the Templar Archives. Little does he know, TLO, that's actually the second Templar Archives. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! TLO, you've been fooled. The mind game is so legit. Please say he realizes there's a main one here now as well. That would be legitimately the best mind game. Because if TLO tries to hit timing based on the fact he just cancelled the Templar Archives, that would actually be insane. If Storm was already finished, TLO's like, literally, how does that happen? I don't know if, well, he sees the Templar Archives in the main, so start Storm, buddy. Storm is where you want to be headed towards, obviously, against Ling Hydra Bane. You don't generally look to rely on just the Archons and Immortals. And that's actually kind of funny, like, the fact that TLO probably does think he's got a lot longer until Storm finishes than he does, just because of a mistake from FeaR. One of those kind of, a serendipitous moment, a happy accident of making that second Templar Archives in the end. So a few more High Templar, again, warped on in. Going to be keeping on joining up. You'll want to keep a couple of them, of course, for the Storm energy. Nope, probably wants to morph them more into Archons. Well, I mean, this attack is already coming across from TLO. I guess the sooner you have those Archons ready, the better. Lots of Banes finishing morphing too. Means at that point where TLO does want to attack, you know, he's got the +1 melee and the +1 missiles. He's got the Bane speed just finished as well. Look how aggressive FeaR is being, though. Really greeting TLO out towards the center of the map right now. And we're just going to be seeing the, well, the few units just, pulling back, and cannon. I mean, there's so many pylons too, a good amount of Sim City to kind of mess up the AI of the Zerg units. Now Storm's going to finish as well. High Templars, though, just starting to gain the energy again. Would have been nice to have a few of those just kept from earlier and only morph into Archons if he really felt the need to, which maybe would have been, again, a little bit nicer. In the end, it doesn't happen. Zealots in the main base. I mean, the Prism looks as though it's been shot down. No, the Prism's over here, somehow still alive. And now Zealots in the third base as well. And TLO is going to be all over the place trying to defend this. Only a little bit, though, actually, as the Hydra's cleaned up the Prism. There's actually units coming in rather quickly. But it does distract TLO. It stops him from committing to the fight, which he might be looking to take right now until there's, you know, before there's extra storms available from FeaR. As it stands, FeaR is getting into a very good kind of situation. I mean, the fact that TLO is yet to take a trade 10 minutes into this game playing Ling Hydra Bane is very problematic, I think, for him, because it's a composition he wants to start and keep on trading with throughout the game, while finding opportunities to tech on up when he takes leads. Stalkers here going to try and defend the main against this big drop which comes in right now, but obviously 4 Stalkers are not enough against this many units. Meanwhile, the big army at the front trying to help out as well, and it's going to have to be a split up from FeaR to defend against this. Overcharge is going down in the main, but it's not enough overall. Zealot's warping into another overcharge. The Hydras in the back that are still going to be scary. It feels as though he's able to start defending this apparently. And here he goes. Zealots start charging on forwards. See what exactly they can get up to right now. A few more Zealots warping in. Mothership Core does indeed fall. Bobe's going to pull in too, trying to really get rid of these Hydras. He's not having a great time with it. But he is keeping his army at the front, which is allowing him to kind of stop TLO from doing things like this and just kind of taking advantage of the position. Loses just about one more High Templar at the very end of that. The last Hydra now going down as well. Still his army of TLO spreading out. Oh, nice force fields. Drops some Hydras in. Will also block away preemptively the Banes to the left-hand side. That's fantastic too. It means the top units are in a little bit of trouble themselves. The High Templar now running towards the army on the left as he escapes the units from the top. Actually, again, a good couple of moments here from FeaR. Good defense at the front. As you see this Phoenix working his way through a few of these overlords. Job's going to back away, load up again, and go for another attack because this was an attack in the main base that was very successful for TLO. I imagine he'll be looking to do more of the same in the very near future as well. Meanwhile, he goes into the Lurker Den. He does begin to look to transition. A lot of the games we've been casting lately, Zerg's been very stubborn about transitioning out of the Ling Hydra Bane, feeling as though the trades they're taking are good enough to end the game and to keep on pressuring the Zerg Protoss. This situation he really isn't, because FeaR is already very happily going up towards a 4th. He's been very comfortable throughout. He's built up the army he wants. I think this is the exact sort of scenario where you want to be building Lurkers rather than just continuing to mass the same units as you have been for the past 3 or 4 minutes of this PvZ. Base up to the top does get cancelled, and obviously FeaR will now want to take down that cooling tower, making sure the same mistake doesn't happen twice. Want to get it cancelled more than he needs to be. Bane drops in the mineral line though in the meantime to the 3rd, and TLO get a little bit of harassment all over the place here just to keep kind of FeaR busy. I mean, this is we kind of know FeaR is maybe a little bit nervous, playing a little bit timid, and it's little attacks like this, little bits and pieces like this, and kind of throw him off guard. But now, for example, he doesn't get the cooling tower killed off, which means he leaves his 4th base open to a run by yet again, which is obviously never a fun idea. As these dropper lords not only turned away, I mean, there's nothing inside of them, but now Lurkers are coming in, so this is going to be an interesting fight from the northern side. We see High Templars just about escaping away from this. The Lurkers will make this engagement difficult. I think FeaR has to come around the top. I don't think he can fight through his own Sim City. I think he has to come around the top. He maybe needs a warp in himself to help him just engage into this. Here we go. Observer in the back has to stay alive, of course, and TLO maybe looking to try and take that down, but you can see FeaR knows the importance of the Observer, lifting it or selecting it just on its own and pulling it back, making sure it can't be targeted by the Hydras, because that's something which TLO knows pretty much just shuts down this entire attack right now. So FeaR keeps on moving forwards again. Lings, Lurkers, Hydras, a few Banes all gathering up together towards the center. A lot of Lings up to the top side. Look at this. So many Lings going to run on in towards this Nexus. They're going to look to get a kill on that, and I think they probably will find it. It's unfortunate because, again, FeaR, he with so many Immortals up to this top side, he was in the perfect position to get rid of that cooling tower and to block this position off, and he forgot to do it, and that was a mistake that we saw him making previously. As now FeaR feeling confident to move onto the map. He's going to clean up some creep, take away some of the map control of TLO, but meanwhile, this run-by in his bases is continuing to do so much. And FeaR doesn't want to just fall apart because of this. He needs to kind of keep his cool, keep his calm, think, keep his head in the right place, think straight, and just think as he's been thinking so far. He's been playing this game well. A couple of small mistakes, but a couple of small mistakes is nothing to get hung up on here in the game of StarCraft 2. He's still in a perfectly fine position. In fact, his army is still very scary, especially with so many Stormers mixed into the back of this. Storm there, a little bit misplaced, but look at this, picking up Hydras and all sorts towards the front. This High Templar very far forwards, and now will be just wanting to throw down Storms wherever possible. Lurkers very far in the back. In fact, a lot of Lurkers not even really part of the fight just yet. Now coming into the top side, I think the Observer's just gone down, and here with Typhout GG, he loses this fight. And the Lings in the end were just doing so much damage back at home as well, unfortunately. Let's go into this and look to see what will happen on Abyssal Reef. Another nice large macro map, very similar to Nuclear Precinct in the sense that FeaR, if he gets up into his mid-game, should just be able to get 3-4 bases nice and easily and hold them very easily. On this map, you could even argue it's probably better for him than Nuclear Precinct because there's less areas from which TLO can attack into and to catch off a 4th base and to catch kind of a drop in towards the main, for example. So I would generally say that this is going to be a bit better for FeaR. I just realized one of my lights isn't on. This is probably going to be a bit better for FeaR in terms of a map to kind of just do what he just did last time. Here's the Red Protoss player from Dead Pixels in the top left-hand side. His opponent bottom right from Team Liquid is, of course, TLO. What's up, Saded? How you doing? What's up, Bad Rocks as well, man? How you feeling today? See you in the base trade, Charlie. I think I did, right? How you doing? What's up? How's everyone doing? Von Schler as well in the chat saying what's up. I'm good, man. How you doing? Hard. I can't do your name, man. I can't go from the Dutch G to the heart to the like just normal H. I just can't do that in like one syllable. It just doesn't happen. It's impossible. It's impossible. Absolutely crazy. Bad Rocks in the chat. Cheering TLO says he's doing good. Loving the cast. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. It's funny because when I first learned to say Dutch G, I had to put so much effort into making a sound that sounds like it that now when I try and say it, everyone's like, why are you trying so hard to make it sound like a Dutch G? And I'm like, because I don't know any other way other than to make myself basically throw up. Rip the dream. Rip the dream. Man. I know I can just call him I Go Hard, but that defeats the kind of the coolness of his name. I like his name. I think I've said this in the past when you've been in the channel, haven't I? I probably like your name. Which Dutch G? I don't know, man. Just one that makes a fucking sound. One of those. I was in the Netherlands like last week. A week and a half ago or so. 2 weeks ago now. I went 2 weeks yesterday. I was there for a few days and got my kind of like by I guess like twice yearly kind of dosage of Dutch training. Can't actually remember what I learned this time. Not very. I don't think I learned very much. I just learned a lot of how to swear at people in Dutch on the ladder. Thank you, Optimus. Appreciate that one. Stargate drops down from FeaR over in the main base. Nothing really too ridiculous about that. You know what? I actually didn't have any Fritz sauce. I didn't go to McDonald's when I was in the Netherlands. I had my Fritz Special though. I had Fritz Oorlog and I had Fritz Special. I had both on different days, not at the same time. As hold that forward because Lings come in here and that first adept goes down rather quickly. TLO 4 Lings. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen FeaR today taking damage to just as low number of Lings we saw earlier. The Lings of Bly picking off 6-7 workers very early in the game. Man, isn't it crazy how much further ahead Protoss players are on work account in the early stages of the game than Zergs? I didn't really realize it lately, but I guess that's just the way things go with the initial builds here. Special is the best? Yeah, I think the Special is the best. With a Mexicano? What's a Mexicano? I don't know what a Mexicano is, I don't think. Satay mayonnaise is great too. That's Oorlog, right? I'm probably not saying it right. I had that one too. I like both of them. Yeah. Oorlog's with the Satay. It's good. It's good. Anyways, Stargate opening, and we do see an Oracle coming down to the south side, having a look to see what might go on. Just going to pop down the status board, very well responded to by TLO. In fact, probably one of the best responses you could do. One single drone, very minimal downtime on the mining, and that's going to be that. As we're going to be seeing the again this Phoenix coming out too. I guess just looking to chase overlords, but obviously missed this one that's right in the main base. Which is obviously a little bit unfortunate, missing the most obvious of all the overlords. Coming up on the main base too. From TLO, just setting up into this, and the Zergling going to start running around the sides of the map again. Just looking for some openings, looking to see what's going on. Nothing too crazy, throwing down a Bane Nest. Just getting ready to prepare against the follow-up Adepts, more or less. Really just a nice little start to the game here from TLO's. Uh-oh. Got a few lag spikes here and there. I'm not sure if it's me and my connection to like the private server that we're on here. Isn't it crazy? We're on a private server for StarCraft. Uh-oh. Is this me? The players aren't complaining, and I imagine as soon as something like that comes up for the players, they would complain instantly, because obviously it's not very ideal for something like that to be happening in the during the game. As do see another status forward attempt, but just some links sent off this time again. No drones being caught, and very minimal downtime on the mining for TLO as we see Adepts coming across the map. Glaive's about to finish up. Feeling is going to run on by. That's something which FeaR will now know about to get ready to deal with. And as we push on forwards, just looking to see what they can get up to. Did those Adepts just teleport? No. It was my game like froze up a little bit or something, I think. You'll see these Lings coming on in. The Banes are going to see what they can do. I mean, the first Banes, they actually do a good job over towards these Adepts. And a lot of them getting cleaned out. A few more Banes are ready. There's a few Zerglings as well. These Lings didn't find anything across the map, by the way, so they're just going to start to head back home. He shades on top of Banelings, and that's not going to be pretty. The status ward will just be set off by a couple of Queens, which actually takes away from some of the DPS here. But FeaR, unfortunately, only finds 5-6 worker kills. It's not really the best. It's not really the best. It's not really what he needs. He needs a bit more than that, in all honesty, as we see this Prism now. Going to start moving down towards the bottom right side of the map as well. These Zerglings going to keep on working their way through those rocks as well. 2 more gates starting on up in the main base, and just looking to see what's going on, what's happening. A few more Hydras from the right hand side just coming along to help with this. And TLO really just trying to work his way through these rocks to kind of get ready for the Lingbane Hydra Flood, which will start. And obviously once it starts, the general idea is that you just don't stop. And look at the difference between this game and the last. I mean, this game TLO has been very aggressive. He's attacking before, well, he didn't get +1 melee, and he isn't going +1 missiles either. So he's attacking a full 2.5 minutes before he attacked in the last game, straight up, which is a really like huge difference. And again, yes, he's skipped out on some of the upgrades. He's attacking way before Bane speed as well, but it's still, even if you wait for the Bane speed, etc., it's still just a much earlier attack. As here we go. No overcharge. There is a cannon or two, and there is force fields available. They're very well placed initially. A few of the Banes go off. I just wonder if FeaR doesn't really quite have enough to keep fighting this. More Depths warp into the left side. There's just so many Hydras, and it feels as though FeaR just doesn't have a way to deal with this many Hydras fast enough. Oh, this is a nice catch. Moving to the side, we're going to see TLO find himself an Immortal to start picking away at. He will get the kill thanks to the Hydras and Lings combined. Hydras start to disappear though, and again, I guess it is that thing where without Lings in front, the Hydras go down very quickly. So that's something you do have to be cautious of. Even if you have a lot of Hydras, like, they just die so fast to kind of glaive the Adepts because of the speed of the the Adepts fire at. The Immortal chewing through them helps as well. And the problem is TLO just seems to be getting in a few too many units every now and then. Just picks off that Immortal as well. That's hugely important, being able to continuously pick away at the at the Immortal count and the kind of units which are really just going to become an issue as time goes by. The cannon gear is holding up quite well and is kind of adding a lot to this, but you know when you're pulling in probes to kind of tank for your few Adepts that it's not really a pretty situation. He only loses 6 of them, and he's going to keep on kind of fighting. I mean, look at this from FeaR's perspective. He's only a couple workers down. He's got a +1 upgrade lead. The game's not over. The game's not over. It's not great for him. It's definitely not over. He warps in some Adepts to the Prism. If he can get some counter damage done especially, he's got a lot of potential here. This is one of these compositions from TLO especially where it looks like you're going to win the game and then you just don't quite break through a couple more times. And suddenly, you've thrown away a bit more than you realize. Another warping of Adepts would be fantastic, and maybe even just straight up necessary right now to actually hold on. The Mothership Core pops instant overcharge as well. Here come the Adepts with maybe just a little bit too much flooding forwards from TLO. Zerglings, again, helping to keep those Hydralisks alive. The warp prism across the map has not been too successful. 3 drones is all, and there's too many Hydras left over in the end. It is too much from TLO, and he will break through to take the 2-0 in this best of 3 against FeaR, and set himself up nicely for the winners match of this group, looking to move through into Group Stage 3. And again, Group Stage 3, round of 32, that's where the first prize money is given out. It's going to be TLO advancing forwards to play against either, I think it's what, True